The hawk has landed. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for college radio.
You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
Welcome to the Morning Buzz. My name is Ryan Trick. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, or for those of you tuning in on Facebook, hello. You get to see our wonderful faces today. But this is the Friday Buzz. Kaya, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a bittersweet show. You know why, Kaya?
We're going to be feeling a little nostalgic today. We're going to feel a little nostalgic, but this is a celebration. This is our last Morning Buzz show for this semester, especially with our senior contributors. This is going to be, it's going to be a little nostalgic. We're going to cry a little bit, not because of our allergies.
Partially because of our allergies.
Don't mind me. I almost oh my God, I almost choked on my cup of coffee. So we're killing it today.
It's going to be a good show. We
is going to be a good show.
Jeremy Wall also with us back in the studio. And Kaya, after she missed last week, Amanda and I had a little Monday Buzz takeover for the Friday show last week. But we do have a very fun show for you today. And we will have not one, not two, but four. That is more than two or one special guests coming on today. And they will be they'll be helping us out with the show and also talking a little bit about Buzz. I see many of them shaking their head at my terrible jokes.
So Ryan could count, guys.
I can count. It's okay. I don't need to do math good. I just need to do words good. That said, we'll kick off the show. Jeremy, what's going on in the world?
Ryan, thousands of Americans could be in danger of losing food stamps. According to Time magazine, the Trump administration is pushing to restrict access to the program. On Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Agriculture issued a notice that it was appealing a judge's warning that blocked them from making cuts to the program. If they win, 688,000 Americans could lose their food benefits. New Jerseyans have more to look forward to. The governor announced yesterday that the Jersey Shore will reopen next weekend, just in time for Memorial Day weekend. However, there will be restrictions. According to NJ.com, organized games, contact sports, concerts, festivals, and fireworks are banned. Rides and arcade games will also remain closed. Restaurants down there, though, can continue to do takeout and delivery. And yes, beachgoers will be able to swim and sunbathe on the beach. Everything will be effective next Friday. It seems like not all professional athletes are behaving well during quarantine. Fox News is reporting that Giants cornerback DeAndre Baker and Seahawks cornerback Quinton Dunbar have warrants out of arrest after being accused for allegedly stealing thousands of dollars in cash and valuables from a Florida party. The men were at a party in Miramar when an argument broke out, leaving Baker to pull out a semi-automatic firearm and to steal watches and valuables from other guests with Dunbar. Both men stole more than $7,000 in cash, along with an $18,000 Rolex watch, a $25,000 hublot, and an Audemars Piguet timepiece. The cast and crew of the Disney musical Frozen will be letting it go. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the musical will not be returned to Broadway once shows resume. Frozen opened on Broadway 2 years ago to mixed reviews, but ended up becoming the highest-grossing musical to open the 2017-18 season, despite not being a blockbuster like the movie. Many are bracing for more Broadway productions to do the same, as the theaters won't be reopening till September. However, people are predicting theatergoers might wait longer to see shows on stage again. Guys, let's get to the forecast. Beautiful day today of highs in the low 80s and lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, the warmth stays as temperatures dip down into the mid-70s. Finally, we conclude the weekend with highs in the mid-60s and a mix of sun and clouds. But guys, it's a great day to hit the outdoors. I know what I'm doing when the show is over.
I'm dancing. I've been waiting
He's
so
dancing.
long.
He's excited. He's been waiting for this like me.
I have been waiting for warm weather for
We've
so
been waiting.
long.
We're so excited.
I've mentioned it.
We just
literally
can't
on
hide
every
it.
show. Oh, I want the warm weather. And I'm sick of these allergies. these allergies are whack. But that said, today I completely spaced. Kaya, it's been messaging. I feel so bad. Last week I even filled in for your job, Kaya. We have to keep the tradition going. It's my favorite part of you being a host, Kaya. Today, days are always National Something Days. So what National Something Day is it today, Kaya?
So on this very glorious day that should be named Allergy Attack Day, as you can have some visual aid with my swollen, crying, puffy eyes, and Ryan has changed a completely different skin tone.
Put that as a thumbnail.
we are celebrating 3 bizarre and exciting holidays. Oh, actually more than 3. International Day of Families, National Chocolate Chip Holiday, National Nylon Stocking Day, National Bike to Work Day, and National Pizza Party Day. So attempt to Zoom your distant family members that probably don't even have the platform. Steal a pack of chocolate chips from your cabinet and reminiscence over your stocking pairs. Go on a bike ride and have some Hawaiian pizza.
Just bike around in circles in your driveway for National Bike to Work Day.
With your nylon stockings on.
With your nylon stockings on. Boom, and you'll cover the whole thing. It'll be perfect. Oh, that'll be incredible. I love how there's always a National Something Day, and for some reason they always stack on top of each other. We should make a National Morning Show Day if there is not one already.
I like that idea.
Shows every day. That'll be good. I like that idea. But
speaking of chocolate chips, I have some upstairs in the cabinet. I should have brought some down to have them join the show as well.
Yeah.
I might do that before we conclude.
That'd be a good idea. I dig that. But now, before we move along to the main show, before we move along to the main stories, like I said, we have some very special guests with us today. As a Morning Buzz producer, it warms my heart to see people continue the show during just crazy hard times like this. So we think it's only proper that we bring on the hosts and some of our contributors that kept all you listeners informed during the last 8 weeks of stay-at-home orders and of quarantine and just COVID, stuff I can't say on air. Please, with a whole heart welcome Amanda Marino, Julia Ryan, Tara Cicchetti, and Philippe Costa to the show.
Woo!
Thank you for coming.
Good morning.
Hey. Good morning, everybody.
Thank
We
you all
see them
so
as our
much for coming.
friends, not competition.
Ryan,
Exactly.
quick question.
Oh,
You
we
sure-
like that, huh?
You sure it's not heartburn or it's just your heart being warmed?
No, it's not heartburn. It really is awesome. I want to say before we start, thank you all so much for keeping the buzz going. The buzz cannot be done without hosts, and it can be done without listeners. It can be done without me. It can be done wherever. It cannot be done without you guys to bring it every day. So thank you very much, and we'll get into more about what the buzz was like for you guys this semester later on. But first, you guys are going to be helping us host. So it's going to be a super show today. Welcome to the Buzz Super Show edition.
The Super Buzz.
George is probably asleep in the green room.
George is
and we miss him.
definitely asleep in his own green room.
His home green room.
His home green one.
He loves the green room so much he built a replica one.
Yeah, it's
Got
actually green.
It's a
too,
fort.
right?
It's
Yeah,
green.
it's a fort. That's
It's
what
literally
it is.
just a pillow fort, except all the
Yeah.
sheets are green. He calls it the green room.
Yeah. With like a little sign on the front that's like taped on, like the green room, but green is spelled wrongly.
Exactly.
And, like,
it's
don't
like
touch.
GREN, the Gren room.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into more of the lighthearted stories, we do have this really interesting story for you guys today. And again, for those of you who are listening, this story has a visual. You can always check us out live on Facebook for those of you who are interested, or on YouTube afterwards if you'd like to see any visuals. But let's just preface this with just how easy a virus can spread. If you can see here, watching the video,
That looks delicious.
a viral video in
Yummy.
Japan showed just how easy it is for a virus to spread at
It's
a
all
dinner
over his
party at a buffet. The idea was 10 people walked into a restaurant style setting, and one person was given on their hand, as if they sneezed into their hand, a little liquid that was only luminescent in black light. And as if you just saw in the video, basically they go about a dinner party, and at the end of it, they turn on a black light, and it is
It's everywhere.
crazy.
Literally, it is
It
everywhere.
is literally everywhere. If you get the chance and you are interested, you can find this video on CNN or on the recording of the show that we post on YouTube every day. It is
The element of shock
crazy.
on their
Yeah.
faces. It's because it's in the beginning, right? They're just having a normal dinner party, and then
And it's literally one person out of 10 people. Just
Yeah.
a little dollop, like this big, if you can see
Yeah.
it, about
It's like
like,
a little-
an,
it's as if
an
putting
inch
lotion.
big
Yeah.
dollop in their hand, as if they had just sneezed into their hand, whatever. And then throughout the whole dinner party, at the end of it, it is
lights on,
literally
and then
everywhere.
the lights come off.
It's like, did
And
you guys
the element of shock on their faces too?
did you guys see those like videos where they like are like trying out the gloves, and they tell people not to wear gloves in the stores because like you're just spreading like germs and stuff. You're better off just like washing your hands or using hand sanitizer. It's like I've seen videos like that too, and if you look at it and you think about it, technically you're doing the same thing. You're spreading germs if you're touching the cart or if you're touching something on the shelf, and then it's the same thing. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
you
I
can't
also-
wash gloves specifically.
No.
too.
I
Yeah.
also
No,
think
you
the
really
moral of the
can't.
story here is like this is like proof of concept, right? For people that are doubting like stay-at-home restrictions and social
Yeah,
distancing
Tara.
and stuff. Like, this is the video for you. Like, if you don't understand how like spreading germs and stuff works, if you don't have like a visual of that in your head, this is the video for you. This pillow behind me keeps making it dive.
It's adorable though.
But
No,
thank you. But
yeah.
this is like the type of thing that needs to be like spread out there more. That video is, I think, really important.
Just from my
Yeah.
experience, I've just realized that a lot of, well, not a lot, but I just even at being home, right? It's just as the longer that we're in quarantine, the more that we're kind of, and of course, like for the people that are staying home and not really in the front lines, we're just become so comfortable being at our homes and just away from everything and just more frustrated the fact that we're staying home and that our lives are just halted. The less, the less, not serious, like I feel like the impact is less, and
Yeah.
it leaves room for people to just be a little more careless because of their
Right.
frustration or because it's a normal routine. So it's a
Right.
good eye opener.
Yeah, getting out of the house is always interesting when you finally do, because I'm, like you said, I'm one of those people that has been in the house for the most part. My mom, on the other hand, she does still work. She still goes grocery shopping. She works for a couple families, so she's very much like just not every day, but like every 3 or 4 days of the week, she's out of the house. She's going somewhere. So I always ask her like, how are things? Like grocery stores now have single file lines. You can only go down an aisle in one direction to make sure people aren't going back and forth.
Which people don't follow, by the way.
Yep.
And it
Yeah,
drives
I
me
mean, and then
nuts.
people are like, my freedom, I want to go up and down the aisle whatever way I want.
What have we come to?
I don't know how to read arrows. What are you talking about?
This is
Like,
communism.
oh,
It's
thank you
wild.
for driving here then on the roads that have one-way signs.
Yeah,
The
and
arrow
then
has 5G.
I think people are saying it's like the worst thing ever to ever happen to the world. I'm like, you got to get your priorities straight.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the worst
worst
thing
that
that
happened that now you have to
God.
be told which direction to go.
I'm going to squat outside of Trader Joe until the gyms are open.
I'm going to
Philippe,
work
you
out
say- you
outside of
say-
the gym to protest.
Mhm.
It's my
Philippe, you say
favorite.
something really interesting because you really have to look at the smaller countries that have more stricter, and I think we had a story on this. I'm not going to say which country because I don't necessarily remember. Maybe Ryan, you might remember, Amanda. But especially the smaller countries that that were taking even harsher measures than we're taking here in the United States. It seems that the rate of the virus kind of really slowed down, and now they're living more normal lives than we are right now. So stop complaining.
Exactly.
They're starting
Period.
to, and I even had this conversation with my friends last night on Discord, and it wasn't even a conversation. It was more of just like, I don't want to say we joked about it because it's very hard to joke about this topic, but
Yeah.
I mean, basically, one of my friends made a comment that we all, to be totally honest with, found kind of funny in a dark humor kind of way, where she was like, it's crazy to see all these countries just start getting back to normal, and in America we still have people debating whether this thing is real or not.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know what else to do but laugh at how true that is.
Yeah, it's just so interesting to me because you have, I know Italy, when they eased their restrictions, their eased restrictions was the equivalent of the worst we got specifically, meaning imagine how bad in terms of like having to stay at home it was in Italy. And on top of that, just, all the conspiracy theories going around, the 5G stuff. The 5G stuff is the one that really gets me because there are actual issues with 5G coming out of Silicon Valley. And it's not obviously about spreading diseases to bats, but it's about things like it affects very much our satellite and other measuring instruments out in orbit, which are big problems, obviously, for things like tracking the weather, tracking any storms, and tracking information in general. And it's just so odd to me that this 5G conspiracy came out of nowhere when there is actual problems with 5G that kind of get now glossed over because people are like, oh, if you have a problem with 5G, well, you're just probably pushing conspiracy.
Yep, Philippe,
There's so many ramifications of this.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kaya?
And also with the trade wars, right? Now there's like a new conspiracy going around that because China and the US have been on a very long going trade war, that either and something that my dad actually brought up was that their American corporations are actually sponsoring labs in China also. So now people are like, oh well, now it's used as a weapon, a biological weapon, and it's just.
It's just people researching. There's like the Wuhan lab. So it is true that the Wuhan lab itself was researching bat diseases, but this is because back in the early to mid 2000s, there was a British scientist who was genuinely looking into the different diseases coming out of bats, and he was worried that a pandemic could happen from them. 60 Minutes posted a piece where they spoke with him before, and they spoke with him now, basically talking about the fact that like he was thinking back in like 06, 05 about this happening. And it happened now, and he was like, I've been talking about this and thinking about this and researching this, and I worked in that lab. And to see people basically cut my funding and bring these conspiracy theories that lab was designed to destroy us, as opposed to that lab sitting there and trying to find a way to either prevent this or cut how bad it is. It just like... If you're going to have a conspiracy theory, can you at least ground it in some sort of
information?
Believability? Exactly. It has to be something insane. It always
no,
has
and
to be
he's sitting
crazy.
in his comfy chair right now, just being like, I told you so.
Exactly.
He's probably sitting there he's sitting there exactly how I was posed during that whole topic, which was just like this. Like, what can you do? People are going to
Kermit the Frog sipping some tea.
Exactly. He's just sitting back like...
What drives me nuts is like I was talking about it with my mom last night. She said to me, she's like, Amanda, I like a bunch of my coworkers just like lost people, like their moms or their family, and she's like, I've never like had to experience like I can't go give them cards or anything. I can't do anything for them, and I feel horrible. And it's like I've never experienced as many deaths at like one time, like to hear about it. So just to think that that's just in our personal life, and people don't believe that it's happening. And it's like we've had stories on the Buzz, like last Friday when we had the interview, and we heard about a kid's mom working in a hospital where it was like that was crazy, and it's insane. And it drives me nuts because along with these conspiracy theories, people are like, well, I'm never going to use a product from China again because they did this. I'm like, well,
good luck.
Say goodbye to these because these are all from China.
Good luck to literally half of the stuff you own.
Yeah. And like what drives
Designed
me
in California, made in China.
And what drives me even more insane, they're like, oh, well, they brought it here. And I'm like, well, actually, no. Everybody in New York, New Jersey area got it from Europe.
We brought it here.
From Europe.
Just to clarify for everybody out there who's blaming China, China didn't just mail us the virus. We brought it here.
It's not like that Simpsons episode where they cough in the box.
They didn't cough in a box and ship it to America. No, we brought it here, so we got to take responsibility.
But
And we got to
Simple
take
as that.
responsibility that it's still around, and our entire lives have changed. No matter if you're frontline or you're staying at home, all of our lives have
Exactly.
changed. And
Yeah.
And
hopefully
for that
hopefully we
interview,
take this for the better, right? Hopefully
exactly.
now studies are going to be taken into consideration. Our bodies are going to be more immune to something like this, and prevent it from happening again.
Yeah.
You're-
And for that interview
Jeremy.
that Amanda mentioned last week, fantastic interview. It literally, Amanda and I were on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
Very emotional, fantastic. I highly recommend it if you are interested. You can find it, I believe, on Facebook. You can find the
Yeah, if you're
episode
someone
from
that
last week.
like is wondering what's kind of going on in hospitals right now and get
You're
like a
right.
firsthand experience, this is kind of if you don't know any family or friends, this is like your best bet.
This is about as close as you can get. It is. It was very touching.
Yeah.
Now I feel
For
like
bringing that story to the buzz.
yeah. So I always, for some reason, and I've noticed this before the outbreak, Josh Torado and I, when we were on the Monday Buzz, always brought this up, and I don't understand how, but we always ended up talking about food on the Buzz. There's always some
Oh,
kind of
that's
food
cute.
story.
I mean,
Even
food
when
is
I was
delicious.
there with you guys, yeah,
even when
like
you were there, yeah, we would always bring up food, and I don't
there
know
was a
why.
whole day
I
you
will
guys
say-
you were debating roles like from different restaurants.
We were debating roles.
I
and it
will
was
say-
a very important conversation. What's that,
I-
Philippe?
I've worked with Josh before on the Buzz, and the same thing would happen.
Well, I love
It's
Same
just
thing
the
would
Josh
happen.
thing.
I mean,
The
food
award-
food is good.
Yeah.
Food is good. I can
exactly.
understand. You know, there's
Food
a
don't
who
need to
Who won the
survive.
bread debate?
yeah. Who
I
won the
even-
roll debate?
I don't know who had the role debate.
I mean, but
Was
not
it-
gonna
you,
lie,
I think
Ryan.
you and Josh, you were debating about roll. Who won? You or Josh?
I don't think anybody wins that
It was
debate.
just kind of
That's the
talking
problem.
about it. They were just like, which one's better? Oh, this one's better, but this one's better than that
It
one.
was
kind
an
of.
I think we can all
open-ended
agree, though, King's
conversation.
Hawaiian
Right.
Rolls.
The
Yeah.
award to most hungry goes to Josh.
Well, and me.
Look-
Needs to be superlative for the next year's banquet.
Well, Ryan, maybe it is you because on Monday we came in with a lot of food stories too on the Buzz.
I think it is me
Ooh,
because I
Ryan's-
was saying before the show, I always
Patient
watch
Zero.
the Food Network, like to an unhealthy degree. But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
I
Such a good
digress.
channel.
we need a cooking show, guys.
That's what we should bring a cooking
Well,
show.
didn't you remember when Ryan was hosting?
Ooh.
Anyways,
show?
I do want
Conspiracy.
to.
Yeah, I guess it's a good.
It's a conspiracy. It's definitely what's it called? The Brunch Bunch conspiracy. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
I'm naming an album
We have
that.
a very controversial story, and one of the main reasons why I wanted everybody to come on before the end of the show. So we're gonna be talking about ice cream. Everybody loves ice cream.
Mm,
Except if you're
Except,
lactose intolerant.
well, you can still love ice cream. There's dairy-free, whatever for you.
Ben Jerry's has it.
Gelato.
I'm partially lactose intolerant too, and here I am hating myself and eating cereal 3 times a day. But nevertheless,
Bro, they make lactose-free milk. What are
Yeah,
you
Ben
doing?
and Jerry's is a real one. They
Okay.
have lactose-free ice cream.
Lactose-free
Well,
milk
no.
is a joke.
excuse me, but lactate
Oat milk.
slaps
Oat
anyway.
milk is delicious, but
You know
It's
what
a
also?
joke.
You know what also slaps? That's a segue. This Hong Kong shop offering
oh,
Tear
Okay,
gas.
ice cream doesn't physically slap, Ryan.
It's an expression. Tear gas flavored ice cream.
that is
It's like a slap in the face. It's
It
gonna
is.
hurt.
yeah.
No, it's actually a slap in the esophagus, and let me tell you.
She's a pro.
It's a
No.
nice
Tell
throat
me why,
punch. Is
Kaya.
what this is.
An ice cream shop in Hong Kong is selling tear gas flavored ice cream to customers as a sign of support for their pre-democracy movement. The special ingredient, black peppercorns. One customer, Anita Wong, reminiscence over the bizarre experience of trying the flavor. She says, it tastes like tear gas. It feels difficult to breathe at first, and it's really pungent and irritating. Makes me want to drink a whole lot of water immediately. I think it's a flashback that reminds me of how painful I felt in the movement and that I shouldn't forget. And also, this ice cream is seeking momentum during the pandemic as businesses are suffering. And the owner chose to stay anonymous during this article in fear that he would face repercussions from the pro-Beijing government. He said, we would like to make a flavor that reminds people that they still have to persist in the protest movement and not to lose their passion.
So we're gonna burn their throats out.
Yeah, exactly.
I see the sentiment. I definitely see the sentiment. Kind of like an idea of like, obviously it's a specialty product. Going into it, it's not being advertised as like, oh, this delicious new. Enjoy this delicious new flavor, peppercorn.
It's like, no, it's
burning
like,
your esophagus. It's more like that like you could buy this. It's meant as a show of solidarity. It's interesting to say the least.
As a statement, almost.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least. That much I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
So the owner goes in and actually explains how they make the ice cream. He says he's tried ingredients like wasabi and mustard in order to replicate the actual taste. He wants to come as close to the tear gas effects with his throat irritating sensation as possible. He says, we roast and then grind whole black peppercorns and make them into gelato, the Italian style. It's a bit hot, but we emphasize its aftertaste, which is a sensation of irritation in the throat. It just feels like literally breathing in tear gas.
See.
Yeah.
You can't throw in, the Italian style. Like, this is normal. There is
not normal.
Nothing.
We turn black peppercorns into ice cream, much like the Italians do.
Yeah,
the Italians come in and they're like, do not involve us in this.
Exactly.
That's basically what I'm doing. Like, you go down to your little gelato shop in like rural Italy and you're whatever, what kind of flavors. We got chocolate, we got vanilla, we have
and chocolate chip.
Like,
I've been to Italy and I have never seen a gelato shop in my time in Italy with tear gas flavored ice cream.
I've only ever seen pepper spray flavored ice
throw
cream.
a flag on that one.
Like, I will say there's nothing wrong with heat in ice cream. Like, I feel like, that's a big thing. Like, it's a culinary thing. You add heat into ice cream, you add heat into chocolate. But this isn't heat. This is just straight up pain.
Yeah.
I don't like
Also,
100.
Dude, mad props to the guy who literally tried these when he was making them.
That's right.
Yeah, sampling.
Went in and he was like, okay, let's try ghost peppers or whatever. Let's try mustard and I don't know, sriracha. Like he probably went through like a tier list.
Hot peppers are fun.
And they all sucked. They all hurt. All of them.
It was the business over himself too. But I think the interesting point is that Hong Kong residents I feel like they're coming in and they should probably have like some waiver, right? So like no one like sues them for like, a burnt out esophagus. I would not be surprised if they just have like a line of ambulances that are just
Oh
what
my
flavor
god.
is that one?
It's a matter of like, come on, like you're eating tear gas flavored ice cream. The waiver is like implied. Like the waiver is your receipt. Like I bought this for consumption.
Do you think that when they serve it, I don't know if they have like some ice cream shops where when they serve it they'll have like a little placard or a little item to show the flavor. If it's like a mint chocolate chip, you'll see some chocolate chips and mint leaves. Is that like you just have a straight up tear gas canister in the ice cream?
Or like the smiley face with the X's for eyes.
An image. I don't know if we're able to pull that up real quick, but they do have a little image of a scooper, and it's in Chinese, which I cannot read Chinese. However, it does look like there's a little symbol there. If we're able to pull that up.
Oh, that is I pulled it up. Oh, that's just a tiny little gas canister that's drawn on.
Yeah, and it's right next to the other flavors also.
A tiny little gas canister. It's actually kind of cute.
I could only imagine if like, say, someone's like, oh, I want to have the cheese flavor right next to the tear gas, and it just a bit of tear gas flavor just falls into the other flavor.
Oh no.
We actually had such a long conversation about this before the show started. We got into other weird ice cream flavors. So here's some weird ice cream flavors. We'll get I'll do them in groups of like 2 or 3, and we'll get people's opinions on them as we go.
Ooh, get ready for this.
So the first 3, horse flesh, cow tongue, and octopus.
Okay, so cow tongue is a delicacy.
Cow tongue is a delicacy.
But not an ice cream flavor.
It's going to be a hard pass for all 3.
Julia during this whole time, by the way, has just been reeling and shaking her head.
It's just so gross. This literally reminds me of that segment on James Corden's show where they ask the questions, and if they don't answer it, they have to eat the gross thing. Like,
that one.
This is literally that, but in ice cream form. disgusting. I would never.
I will say my family's Portuguese, so cow tongue is very much a delicacy. I see my grandfather eat it all the time.
Have you
I don't
eaten
think
it?
no, God no. But I know very much that he's not gonna eat cow tongue ice cream. Like
I would try it.
Like imagine
you
if
would
they
try
put
it,
a
Jeremy.
chunky
power
version
to
of
you,
it.
Jeremy. Power to you.
Tongue is not that bad, but I can't see it in an ice cream. But like this is my question, right? Like with the horse one, I can't believe I just said that.
The horse flavored.
How'd they specify the flesh? It's not like horse meat or horse like steak. It's like, no, we skin this thing.
Right.
That's
And-
just
and-
odd.
Tasted. Well, I mean, it could just be fake, right? They could be like, well, I imagine flesh to taste like this.
Could also be a translation thing, depending on where the ice cream comes from. Because
I don't know, man. This is on the list.
Also,
Yeah,
it depends on if it's chunky or if it's artificially flavored.
Oh, please stop. Okay,
Back.
moving on.
I'm dead
On to the
yummy.
next flavor.
Back.
It does
That's
matter.
yummy.
Moving
It
on to
does,
the next
you're
flavor.
right.
These are some more refined flavors we have in the next group. We have pickled mango, corn on
okay.
the cob,
I would try that.
and faux gras.
Oh, we're in a
Okay.
way better world right now. This is
So-
way.
I would
I
try
would
the
try
pickled mango.
I would
that
try the
sounds-
pickled mango.
I mess with
I
pickled
like
mango.
mango.
The corn one's probably decent too.
Yes. By the
No.
way, here it is. The
Tiny little gas canister.
this
Right
is
Okay,
there.
they look
yes,
exactly
this
the
is the
same,
image
though.
of the tear gas.
They're all the
flavored ice
same
cream.
colored. The
Um,
ice cream
story
flavors
of
are
Doesn't look bad.
What about if
Uh,
someone plays his trick and just changes them up?
Story,
God,
of course,
that's a
provided
lot.
to
Exactly
by
the
AP
same.
News.
They
as
look
well as
exactly the
images.
same.
Ah.
There's a whole image gallery as well if you're interested in the story on AP News. But I would try pickled mango, I think.
Yeah.
I drink pickle juice on the daily. I just whip out an entire jar of pickle juice and I like a drink.
I would
I would
Blake
rather
Coleman over
chew
here.
on glass than try the faux gras, to be quite
What is
honest.
that? I don't even know what that is.
It's
Faux gras
it's
is fancy
almost
for...
Foie gras.
it's like
It's
it's a very specific kind of dish. From
Oh,
what I remember.
booger.
It's,
Yeah, I would totally try booger. Yeah.
It is
Mm,
a
it looks nice
spe-
and
Strap.
green.
it's a
Oh,
specialty
God.
product made of the liver of a duck or goose. Foie
Yeah.
gras is defined as the liver of a duck or goose fattened by gavagers, basically force feeding it until it basically dies. It is banned in
Okay.
some countries.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We've got
Annabella is
Sakata ice
determined to
cream.
bring this one up by showing me close-up images of bugs, which I cannot stand. Yes, one flavor on the list is cicada.
Why is there?
Oh,
Why
I
is vanilla
can't.
there?
Hey, wait. Hey, Philippe,
Why is
Tara,
this-
what about a ant flavored ice cream?
Oh,
like our
God.
ants are
Okay, bye.
yesterday?
God.
Bye.
Okay, let's move on to the next flavors.
Well,
So we
cicada
got
cicada
pear.
is a flavor later on.
Wait. Before we
Unfortunately.
even get into more weird flavors, I have a question for everybody.
Okay.
It's always
Oh.
up for debate. Do we all like mint chocolate chip ice cream on here, or are you
That's
guys one
my
of the people that
favorite.
think
That's
it's
my favorite
too
ice
It's my
cream.
favorite ice cream.
I'll
Yeah.
eat
It really
it.
depends.
I have no.
The
strong feeling.
Haagen-Dazs mint chocolate chip is to die for.
Especially
did
when
you
you
say,
top
Julia?
it with like some chocolate or some like crunchies or something.
Some
Good.
ants.
You're
So
fine.
yummy.
I
so
said
yummy.
it really depends on the
ants.
brand because some
Yep.
brands are
Okay.
really good, but other ones taste like toothpaste with chocolate chips in it.
Mhm.
So
Got
Ben
it.
and Jerry's,
Okay.
I kind of
Yeah.
am not for Ben and Jerry's. I feel like it does taste like toothpaste. And
So we're all in
Looks
this
like
chat
chocolate.
then that we do like mint chocolate chip. Like it might
Yeah.
not
It
be
just
your
depends
first
on the
flavor.
brand.
I'm
Yes.
agreeing with
It's
that.
No,
first
but we're
flavor.
good. We're good.
That's
But
good.
it's
That's good.
homemade,
It's good
yes.
to know. Good to
By
know.
the way,
Especially if it's
if,
homemade.
for those of you watching or listening, if you want to tweet us your favorite ice cream flavors or your weird ice cream flavors that you've heard of, you can
Or
tweet us
comments
at
on Facebook Live.
WMSC using the hashtag WMSCBuzz.
Wait, but
There
what
you go.
what are your guys' favorite ice cream flavors? Like, what do you guys like
Ooh.
that
And-
you pick?
Ooh, chocolate chip
So,
cookie dough.
roasted
Stuff.
coconut, specifically.
Okay, wait,
in a
everybody
milkshake.
go at once because I can't hear you all.
So I will say, there's a flavor from Ben and Jerry's called Americone Dream. It's
Mm.
basically just another vanilla flavor, but it's got pieces of just cone
It has
broken
Jimmy
into it,
Fallon
mixed
on it,
in.
right? Or like one of the late
No, that's late night snack. It's the Stephen Colbert flavor.
night- okay.
No, they do have a Jimmy Fallon one as well.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's pretty good. That
It's
one's
called the
pretty good,
American
too.
Dream, I think.
Yeah, the Sweaty Balls is a pretty good one too. From
That's it
The
is an
SNL
ice
skit.
cream flavor.
it is an ice cream flavor. Yeah,
Yep.
my
cute.
guy's last name is Sweaty.
See, I would imagine protein balls, but not ice cream.
Yes. Dulce Annabella Poland chiming in. Her favorite is Dulce de Leche from Fredo in Buenos Aires because
Fredo, I thought he was dead.
I thought he got killed on the boat. What are we doing? What happened?
Godfather Part 2. So, what about the rest of you guys? What are your favorite flavors?
Mint chocolate chip. I love the mint from Cold Stone. Cold Stone's mint is, oh my God.
I miss Cold Stone.
I miss Cold Stone.
Okay, Cold Stone is overhyped because we just ordered a birthday cake for my mom from Cold Stone, and it was nasty. And also,
you gotta order from Nastos.
That was not my decision.
That's on you.
It was
my mother's request. But then also what happened, it was supposed to be a large size, right? And they couldn't keep up with the demand. They were like, no, we can't do a large sized cake. So we're just going to give you 2 extra sets of frozen cupcakes. The most disgusting thing I've ever tried in my entire life. We have 2 sets in our freezer right now. And it's
send some to me.
Okay, I have a quick. Before we move on to the rest of the list, because I do want to get moving. I have to ask, what are y'all's opinions on ice cream cakes? Because I think they're super overhyped. I can't get behind them.
Okay, you can be wrong.
Okay,
you can be wrong.
It depends on the place for me because there's an ice cream place here in Newark called Nastos. I don't know how many people know it because I think it's pretty well known. I know it catered for my prom senior year, but they're very good. Old world ice cream, everything's handmade. Their ice cream cakes are very, very good in my opinion. I feel like they do set the bar because there's a lot of other ice cream cakes I'll eat and not like because it's not a Nastos ice cream cake. So I will have a Nastos ice cream cake, but any other ice cream cake, I'm gonna have to put a hard no on that.
All right, listen, bougie. Carvel ice cream cake is fine, and I miss it, and you can all be wrong.
Tara, we will get you an ice cream cake.
I'm lactose intolerant. Please don't.
What were you saying, Amanda?
I was gonna say I agree with Tara. I like I'll have a Carvel one occasionally, but honestly, if I had a choice between regular cake or ice cream cake, I'm probably going for regular cake if it's a good frosting and everything. But I will occasionally eat ice cream cake. I just prefer a cupcake or a real cake, So
on the topic of ice cream, so you remember last week of the Morning Buzz, we told you that the ice cream parlor in Cape Cod had to close on the first day of reopening due to customers yelling obscenities at the store's employees because they wanted ice cream on the spot. And the parlor had to put guidelines in place to keep everyone else safe and observe social distance.
Yeah. Well,
the frenzy is going crazy.
Yeah. The biggest part that bothered me about that story is they were yelling obscenities at a 17-year-old female employee that the owner wouldn't even want to repeat, and I believe described something along the lines of they were yelling things you wouldn't even hear in a guy's locker room. And so the idea was they were yelling such terrible things that she actually quit that day, and she was using that job to save up for college.
That's so sad.
Well, today's update is that the owner had set up a GoFundMe page to help her save up for college with the goal of $5,000. We did mention this on the Buzz. And today, we are super happy to report that they have actually raised over $38,000 for her. Which is
crazy.
Awesome.
That's close. That's depending on institution, that's anywhere from a year to 2 years of tuition right there.
If you commute, that's easy. That you can get a lot out of that. So that is awesome. So it's good to see that some good came out of that story.
I hope those people that were harassing her have many days of intestinal distress for the rest of their lives.
I hope they were identified. And they're facing repercussions right now.
They're going to get their esophagus slapped with
they have to eat
tear gas.
No, as their punishment, they're going to ship over tear gas flavored ice cream.
Rub it in their eyes.
And on
you said you wanted ice cream, so here you go.
Exactly.
And on that
good transition, Amanda.
On that sweet note too, she actually posted the following on social media for gratitude. She says, "Well, hello everyone. I think I have no other choice than to start off by saying how incredibly grateful I am that so many people gave me their sympathies and donations. To see this overwhelming support trying to make sure that I haven't lost faith in humanity has truly affected me in ways you'll never know. What everyone has given is more than enough. We have now more than reached the goal put in place by my exemplary boss. I thank you, my family thanks you, and we respectfully ask that you now use your kindness alternatively. There are quite literally millions of ways in the service industry to endure what I did or worse just in their day-to-day experience. I really thought this virus would bring everyone a little closer. Maybe a sense of solidarity would make people inclined to be a little more compassionate. An overestimation on my part, I'll admit, but there's no reason this cannot be changed now, and you all are the start of that change. Everyone is dealing with something in quarantine. More than anything, people are scared. Now more than ever, there is time to respect one another, lift people up, and understand that any small positive act towards someone can make a world a difference. If some feel as if they still want to give to me, please just be kind to the people around you. That'll make a more significant difference. To everyone involved in this situation, from every fiber of my being, I thank you, in all caps. You have radically changed my perspective on the nature of humanity, and quite frankly, you have made my endeavor for higher education seem so much less financially terrifying. Be kind, be safe, eat dessert.
True.
That was from a 17-year-old.
That was really well
It's
said.
like an Oscar speech.
That should be her college essay.
Yes.
Boom.
For admission.
Exactly.
And her sitting there and taking the time of mind to sit there and think, like, I have so much money now and people are going to probably keep donating. Let me, advocate for putting that money elsewhere where someone else needs it. That's just a level of just almost profound just awareness of what's going on and awareness of the kind of kindness she's receiving right now.
And the fact that she received so much hate at a single day and probably more days, and it's kind of like that turnaround story where basically all of the negativity that she faced, it's all being kind of
paid back,
rekindled through positivity. And not only does her college education seem less financially terrifying in quotes, but also this is bringing in press. Colleges are going to probably see this, and she might have an opportunity to actually go to just be admitted to a higher education college, and that seems amazing. So I really hope to see where she's going to go.
Yeah. And, kind of on the topic of college stories, we do always like to try and bring the best stories towards the end of the show. And I love this one when I saw this. It was posted in our WMSC Discord chat. A dad in Memphis built a stage on his driveway to host a college graduation for his daughter, so that his daughter
Hold
could
up,
graduate.
sing it with me. Da 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 da.
Guys, there needs to be a different graduation song. Like it's overhyped.
It's kind of sad.
It's
very
sad.
down.
Also, let's not play what's that one song? "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" by Green Day. That's not a good context song.
Wow, you just
people play that for
completely.
graduation.
You roasted me completely on that, Philippe, because I literally video edited a senior montage video for that
song.
That's not your fault. That's the thing.
Song.
Yeah,
that's not your fault.
It is my fault because I personally chose that song. Yes.
You don't know that's the thing. A lot of people don't know the context of the song and songs in general. Yeah. So they're like, oh, it's always been used in this and it sounds like this.
Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac.
You could go your own way.
That's a breakup song. They're breakup songs.
You know what? A lot of songs mean different things. Like, there are people that have never experienced love and love songs.
Remember,
you gotta take it your own way.
Philippe, yesterday, you could sing a song for 10,000 people, and 10,000 people could sing it back to you in a different way.
Dave Grohl has bled into every buzz right now.
Dave Grohl is everywhere. But anyway, so I do want. We did pull up the visual for the story. I thought this was fantastic. So I know some of you are graduating, and it is probably really hard to not have a graduation or have it be pushed back. What do you guys? How are you guys feeling about this?
I'm very emo. about the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's just simple as that.
Emo is in like middle school Green Day, My Chemical Romance phase, or emo is emotional?
Well, I always say, emo as an emotional, but kind of like a mix of the two. So whenever I'm feeling a certain way, I'm just like, I'm so emo, like. So that's just basically my term for anything of sadness. But yeah, it does suck. I'm not gonna lie, it's not fun. I was really looking forward to like walking across the stage and dragging my family to my graduation. Yeah.
And being waved by your WMSC members.
Exactly. My mom didn't really want to go, so she's kind of happy about it. But
well, there's a possibility. I know the university.
It's the parking.
Yeah.
What's up?
God.
No, the park.
I said it's the parking.
I know the university has been talking about having the ceremony sometime in the future. No word when. But Julia, I agree with you. Our convocation was supposed to be today, the College of the Arts. And I was looking forward to seeing my family there, seeing all the people who have been by my side throughout my 4 years at the university, hanging out in the SCM lobby with the cookies and all that food that they have there. In case you guys haven't been to a College of the Arts convocation, they have a big thing before the show in the lobby where everyone sees each other, everyone's families meet each other. I can't recall if there's any faculty there. I haven't seen much faculty there. I think Dr. Strudler he's definitely there because he's the director. And of course, Dean Gerskis is there. But I am glad, though, that they are yes, they are there. I never see them there. They're there, just my eyes don't catch them.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. But I am glad that we will get to have something virtual. But the virtual, as nice as it is, it doesn't beat the in-person experience.
It should be interesting to see what happens, especially if this goes even longer than we can imagine.
Philippe.
Because I'm
not gonna know wood right now.
I know well, I mean, I already know I'm most likely going to have to. I'm already going to have to wait until next spring because I graduate this coming fall semester after that's over. So it should be interesting if they still do a physical graduation for people who missed and had to do a digital one, and just to see people who graduate this spring and maybe they'll walk next spring together with the class that's graduating that spring. And I think it'd be just really cool because I'm imagining the ability to walk with some of you guys who are graduating now and kind of turn it from something that was once so bittersweet in terms of, graduating and not being able to walk, to having students that are graduating this next spring being able to welcome people who were supposed to walk this spring now. And I feel like it could be such a very tender moment to kind of like for everyone to be in a situation where they feel like, we're walking now and we're walking with these people that weren't able to walk beforehand. And these are friends that we've had before in college and that we may not see them for some time outside of maybe some radio stuff and stuff like that. It's going to be such an emotional moment, even more so than it would be if it was a regular graduation. I think it's a silver lining in a very rough situation we're in right now.
As much as I feel like that'd be like an interesting idea, Philippe, I also don't necessarily think it would be. I feel like they would still try to have a different ceremony because I feel like if you make everybody wait a year, I know like it's like, okay, it's just a year, you already get your diploma, you're fine, you're graduated, but like I feel like it's going to turn into an event where like everybody's going to try to make it about them a little bit more. It's like, oh, well, we didn't get our graduation last year, so I'm going to make it all about us this year. And it's like, not saying that you two would either do anything like that. I'm just saying in general, like the most of the class, like I feel like it'd be easier just to have it another day so that each class can honor them and their friends at the same time, even though we're all friends. And it would seem like a cool idea. I feel like there would be ways that people would take advantage. It's like, well, this is my ceremony. I was supposed to have a year ago, not yours. And
this
like
was supposed to be my moment.
Yeah. Well, you guys say something really interesting, but I feel like whether they're going to make it about themselves or not, I feel that everyone should still deserve to have
I completely
live
agree.
moment. And just seeing all of those chairs, like I feel like I could imagine it. I don't know whether they rent out a stadium or something, but I could imagine in the football field, Okay, so I don't know if they could fit everyone in Prudential, whether they're gonna have them in like the audience seating, but I could just imagine like probably just basically just chairs set up throughout like the entire campus. I feel like that would be really adorable. And just
Would definitely be
having like a
powerful.
drone or something and just filming the entire experience, having both graduating classes on campus during that time. And whether they make it about themselves or not, it's not really going to be publicized. It's at the moment, no one's going to care because they're going to be graduating. They're going to be living in that experience and we're all going to be applauding them. So I feel like they should make this event the next graduation, like a big time, 2-time graduation, and just blow it up.
Yeah.
And
Powerful.
I think
Definitely would.
I think no matter
It's-
what though, everybody deserves to graduate. Like I want to clarify if anybody didn't think that. I just didn't mean they should be together on the same day. I
Yeah.
totally
I
agree
feel
that
like they should.
no matter what time it is, I think you should be able to do a real graduation, whether it's in the
Yeah.
summer or it's in the winter. I
Yeah.
think you guys deserve to get a chance to walk across the stage and see your friends and teachers and stuff again.
Yeah.
And we will be finding out more about that coming up, and
Well, yeah.
we'll definitely be keeping everybody updated on it too.
Mhm.
Today, actually, at 3 p.m., WMSC is hosting a senior clap out. It's a special show. For those of you who want to tune in, you will actually get to meet most of our graduating seniors. At Convocation every year, our dean asks that our graduates stand up and thank their families, friends, and clap for the ones who supported them. And this is their chance to do that on the day that they would be doing it at Sprague Field.
And for the
So-
School of Communication Media, there's a special virtual ceremony with special celebrity guests, and that will be held on May 21st at 6 p.m.
Harry
Who do you guys
Styles,
think the
is he
celebrity
coming?
guest would be?
Julia, Ryan, and Harry Styles.
I wish.
Did you see my Discord message when I was like,
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh, Kaya, she understands me.
I know, I thought of you. No, because so it was a Harry Potter themed banquet, and then I was trying to make a joke like, oh, Harry Styles themed banquet. Ooh, never mind, I meant Harry Potter. And then Julia was just like,
I got it. I love it.
Pretty much.
But you know what? Philippe's going to have the opportunity to see the senior montage video at the clap out event with the Time of Your Life song.
Again, it's not your fault.
Enjoy.
It's not your fault. It's because people
You're
don't
part of the problem.
leave Kaya alone. She did nothing wrong.
meant-
It's everyone else who made the song
Good
in
intentions.
graduation.
Yeah,
But
nothing
good
but
All
good
love,
intentions.
Tara. All love.
Yeah, always. Always.
So-
I mean, no, I was gonna
Oh,
say
no,
I
go ahead.
think we could talk about just kind of like what we enjoy about not just the buzz but radio in general because we are
I did want to kind of wrap the show with asking you guys like I said at the beginning of the show, and for those of you who might just be tuning in, this is the final edition of the spring semester morning buzz. We will be continuing into the summer. We're going to be starting an hour later, and it's going to be live Monday through Thursday, and then for Fridays it's going to be a pre-recorded like best bits almost.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be a new cast of people. So
Yes.
maybe some of the people you like are returning, and some of the people maybe are not returning. But we will have visits from some people. Like I know Julia's hiding her face right now; she's working over the summer. But Julia, we'll have you on for sure. Coming
Really,
up.
Ryan,
gotta
you're
pop
more
in.
than welcome to guest star on.
Well, good because
My-
I
the
was just gonna
Thursday
drop
edition.
by anyway.
Exactly. I
I'm
told
ready.
Julia
Good.
actually she was getting very sad on her episode. I'll call you out for it. She was getting a little bummed, and I told her, Julia, you are not allowed to leave the buzz.
Right.
I told her I will drag
you're
you
a prisoner.
back. Exactly. I will drag you back.
We're held under obligation.
Once you come in, you never leave.
Exactly.
Oh gosh,
Every
guys.
time I try to leave, they pull me back.
Yeah, I just like to say, this is
I wanna
my
ask you, Jeremy. What? Thank you, first of all, before you start, because you taught me how to do most of this stuff. So, first and foremost, shout out to you, man. Thank you
Jeremy
so
Wall
much
has been the power and the face and the foundation of the Morning Buzz for the last
for a little
couple
while now.
semesters.
Yeah, and
And he
he's-
basically reinvented the Morning Buzz and made it to what it is today. So thank you.
Yeah, and I kind of want to ask you, what were your favorite and, to be honest, least favorite parts about doing the show from quarantine?
My favorite part about doing the show from quarantine was definitely having the ability to be able to do it and not just have it on terrestrial and iHeart, but to have it on Facebook Live, SoundCloud, YouTube, to really be able to have it on different platforms to help reach bigger audiences. That was definitely my favorite part because that's something we never did when we were in studio. We were only on iHeart and on terrestrial. I think my least favorite part, though, definitely not being able to be physically with everyone. I miss being in the studio with everyone. I miss being able to wake up, listen to the show on my way to the building, hear what you guys are saying, hear what maybe we could put in there, going to bed every night with stories and shipping them out to the news contributors. Those are all the things I miss about that studio experience. And yes, we get to do that virtually, the whole tech part of it, but the feeling isn't the same. And I think what I'm gonna miss overall about this show, although I'm still doing the summer buzz, it's being able to physically be with everyone in the morning. I mean, who doesn't love, the morning wake up?
Exactly.
It's been like that. And yes, this is my last morning buzz. I'll still be around for summer buzz. And Ryan, I'm glad we've been able to work together. I'm glad you are my successor. Amanda, I'm glad you'll be assisting him. And everyone else, Tara, Julia, Philippe, Kaya, George, and everyone else that I've done the show with. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to continuing the summer buzz. And thank you all for making this experience great.
Little round of applause for Jeremy.
Yeah, man.
Where's the clap reaction?
And I do want to ask you guys really quickly before we have to wrap the show. The rest of you, how have you? What are your thoughts on how this has been?
Fulfilling, a little bittersweet because to be able to still do radio, still talk to people, still work with new people that we haven't worked with before. But like Jeremy said, that in studio feeling, there's just something about it. It feels different. It feels there's a vibe. There's a vibe there. There's a feeling there when you walk into WMSC early in the morning. You're barely awake, ready to do the show. You can't replace it with Zoom meetings. Not to say that these haven't been great, but there's just a whole other thing that goes to it.
But the toilet paper sequence will live on.
Oh, Lord. That was beautiful.
Yes. For my money, I mean, I'm just proud of us and that we could kind of shoehorn this into a really weird and honestly terrifying situation. That we could do this from home and like everybody stepped up and we're still hosting, still doing the buzz, still doing their shows. I mean, it makes me, feel good about our generation of people that work in this field have something, I think, a drive and a passion that not a lot of people have to be able to keep doing this under such weird circumstances. So I'm just proud of y'all. I'm thankful for everybody that we've been working with and, that make not only on the back end, but all the hosts, everybody you made this awesome. And, really, for me at least, put something positive in a really terrifying negative time. So thank you so much.
Julia?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Well, basically, this is my first semester doing it, and I really wish that I had the opportunity or actually knew about this beforehand, so I could have enjoyed the time with you guys even more. But I just want to say thank you guys for making my last semester special and, giving me some normalcy during this pandemic, because this is the only thing in my schedule that's been consistent, and I'm really happy I got to spend it with you guys. And thank you, Annabella, for everything also. All you guys are amazing, and I'm really going to miss you all.
Shout out to Annabella, because Annabella is always running the show and she's incredible, and we wouldn't be able to continue to do the show without her, and she is amazing. And also shout out to Adam, who's been running the show as well. You guys both rock, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys.
Huge
you guys
keep
literally keep this running.
They are the ones that make sure that we're on air and to show our appreciation. And to help show our appreciation too. That's actually one of the reasons why we're doing a pre-recorded show on Fridays, so they can hopefully get some semblance of sleep or at least have a solid breakfast. But
And you get a day off, and you get a day off.
No, oh my God.
But we do need
Gotta love
to.
Oprah.
We do need to sadly wrap the show. Coming up next is Tom Kaminsky's Class of 2020 special Back to the Future show. I love Tom Kaminsky. I had him as a
beautiful
professor.
man.
It's going to
Beautiful
be a fantastic show. But thank you all so much for coming on. There is not enough time on air and not even enough airwaves available for me to express how grateful I am for you guys. So thank you so much for making the show possible. And thank you all for tuning in to the Morning Buzz for this semester. We will see you next week, starting just an hour later. You've been listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey. I've been Ryan Trick, and these have been my wonderful Morning Buzz people. And
Sad
we'll see you
machine,
guys
do
next
do 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 do. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you over the
Thank you,
summer.
everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.
Adam, cue us out, my man. I'm gonna dance and talk like I normally do.
You were listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, New Jersey.